Nobody knew why Mama Rose's food was sweeter than every food in the village. Every evening, people stood in long lines outside Mama Rose's small food shop. Her rice was sweeter, her soup smelled better, her meat was softer. People traveled from far villages just to eat her food. "How do you cook like this?" they always asked. Mama Rose would only smile. "It is my secret," she said. The villagers laughed, but there was one little girl named Ada. Ada was 10 years old. She lived near Mama Rose's shop. Every night, when everyone slept, Ada noticed something strange. Mama Rose always left her house carrying a black pot, and she always returned before sunrise. One night, Ada became curious. She quietly followed her. The moon was bright. The wind was cold. Mama Rose walked through the empty road. She crossed the river. She passed the old church. Then she stopped near an abandoned mortuary at the edge of the village. Ada's heart began to beat fast. "What is she doing here?" she whispered. Mama Rose looked around carefully. Then she opened the rusty gate and entered. Ada hid behind a tree. Minutes passed. Then she saw something that made her knees shake. Mama Rose came out carrying a bottle filled with strange water. The water glowed faintly in the darkness. Ada wanted to run, but fear glued her feet to the ground. Mama Rose walked away without seeing her. The next morning, Ada watched from a distance. Mama Rose poured a few drops of the strange water into a large pot of soup. The smell instantly filled the air. It smelled wonderful. Soon customers arrived. Everyone ate happily. Everyone praised her cooking. But Ada could not forget what she had seen. Days passed. Weeks passed. Then strange things began to happen. People started having the same dream. In the dream, pale figures stood around their beds. The figures never spoke. They only stared. Night after night, the dreams continued. The villagers became afraid. Children cried in their sleep. Dogs barked at empty corners. People stopped going out after sunset. The village chief called a meeting. "What is happening to our village?" he asked. Nobody knew. Then Ada stood up. Her hands trembled. "I think I know." The entire village became silent. Ada told them everything. About the midnight walks, about the abandoned mortuary, about the glowing water. At first nobody believed her. Mama Rose became angry. "She's lying," she shouted. But the chief decided to investigate. That night, several villagers secretly followed Mama Rose. Just like Ada said, she walked to the old mortuary. Just like Ada said, she entered the building. And just like Ada said, she came out carrying the glowing bottle. The villagers were shocked. The next day, they confronted her. Mama Rose burst into tears. For years she had been poor. Her husband had died. Her children were hungry. One night, an old stranger appeared to her. The stranger promised that her food would become famous. All she had to do was collect water from the mortuary every full moon and add a few drops to her cooking. At first she refused, but hunger pushed her into making the terrible choice. Soon her business grew. Money came. Customers came. But the strange dreams also came. The villagers were frightened. Mama Rose cried harder. "I never wanted to hurt anyone," she said. The village elder shook his head sadly. "Some shortcuts bring blessings that are not blessings." The villagers gathered together. They prayed. They cleaned the abandoned mortuary. They destroyed the bottle. And Mama Rose promised never to use the strange water again. At first, people stopped buying her food. Business became slow, very slow. But Mama Rose continued cooking honestly. She used only fresh ingredients. She worked harder than ever. Months later, something surprising happened. People returned, not because of magic, not because of secrets, but because her food was truly good. This time, her success came from hard work, and it stayed forever. Years later, whenever children asked about the old story, the elders would say, "Never take the easy road when it is the wrong road. Good things built with honesty last longer than things built with dark secrets." And from that day on, nobody ever saw the glowing water again.